What's up everyone, Darcblade here with a patch information video for Monster Hunter World Iceborne. This is regarding patch 11.01 for PlayStation 4 or 11.0.0.1 for Xbox One. The patch was released today, which is October the 10th, 2019, and is around the 1.3 gigabyte mark in terms of size. So it is quite a substantial patch. It does come with new additions to the game, including a new monster, region to the Guiding Lands, and more. So let's dive into this video. First of all, we're going to talk about the main additions with this patch, as well as the more important changes. First of all is the new addition in the form of Rajang, a new monster or returning monster to Monster Hunter World Iceborne. This ultra aggressive creature is going to be a challenge, especially for new hunters. Now to access it, you'll be given a special assignment. This special assignment will feature two quests, the first of which has you taking on a Kirin in the Hoarfrost Reach, and then afterwards you'll have to take on the main event, Rajang, in the Guiding Lands. To access this assignment, you have to at least been to the Guiding Lands at least once, and afterwards speak to the Admiral. But for taking on Rajang, you'll be able to craft yourself new armor, including alpha and beta sets, as well as armor for your palico. There will also be weapons for you to craft, which are supposed to synergize well with the skills that come with the Rajang armor. But what else is included in this patch? Well, there is now a new volcanic region to the Guiding Lands. This is accessed by doing the Rajang special assignment. They've also expanded the weapon augmentation and custom upgrade systems. The new augmentations come in the form of being able to add a further level onto your existing augmentations. Before this patch there was only 2 levels, now you can add a third one. It basically allows more pips to be added to the augmentation bar. They've also added new weapon trees, armor and skills. They haven't specified what these are as of yet. I assume they're to do with the introduction of Rajang and the associated armor and weapons. Also, you can now make your room public to other players. You can change these settings from the start menu by selecting communication, then the next option of selecting your room, or you can do this via speaking to your housekeeper palico in your room and selecting the room option. As a result, a room exclusive chat has also been added. They've also added a music player to your room, allowing you to change the music, and they've also added new interactable decor you can have in your room in Celiana. Additionally, they've added new rewards to the Tail Raider Safari when they go off to explore the Guiding Lands. There's also been more customization options added for your squad cards. They've also added a ton more forgeable layered armors, which for the majority are high rank and low rank versions of the armor from the base version of Monster Hunter World. Also, the monster spawn rates in the Guiding Lands have been adjusted. To be honest, the Guiding Lands has been adjusted full stop. There's been lots of changes to it, we'll get into that in a minute though. Also, monsters that have been lured out in the Guiding Lands will automatically be tracked by your scout flies, and the targeted monster in the Guiding Lands will now appear in your log. Sticking with the Guiding Lands, when a monster has been lured out, monsters already present will not leave as quickly. Moving away from the Guiding Lands, Kinsects can now be added to the wish list. And finally, in terms of main additions and changes, settings for your Celiana room's privacy has been added to the Gathering Hub's welcome message. So that's about it for the main additions and changes that come with this patch. However, before we go into the bug fixes and balance adjustments, we're going to go over the adjustments that have been made to the Guiding Lands. The Guiding Lands have been a source of stress for a lot of Monster Hunter World Iceborne players, and some players haven't even had a chance to really fully explore it yet. Nonetheless, Capcom have listened to feedback and they've tried to make some changes to make it more accessible, even potentially more easy. So adjustments have been made to make the Guiding Lands easier to play. Future updates will feature more adjustments which will improve this even further. First of all, with adjustment 1, the fluctuation of region levels has been adjusted. In the Guiding Lands you can obtain different materials at each level, so adjustments have been made to how levels increase or decrease to make it easier to explore. So for regions at level 1 or 2 there's no changes. At regions from level 3 to 6 it fluctuates at the same rate as regions in level 2 did before this update, and at region level 7 the fluctuation is the same rate as regions that were at level 3 before this update. As for adjustment number 2, they've adjusted the drop rate of special tracks obtained from monsters in the Guiding Lands, so unanalyzed special tracks are now easier to obtain, making it easier to lure out specific monsters and control your region level. They are also now guaranteed once you capture or carve or break a monster's body part. With adjustment number 3, the region levels can now be fixed. A setting has been added so that region levels will not fluctuate whatsoever, so hunters can now explore the guiding lands freely with fixed levels. Fixed region levels are applied per player. If you set a region's level to fixed, your own region's level will not fluctuate whether you're the quest leader or joining someone else's guiding lands. You can fix region levels at the quest board when you select the guiding lands option. For me, this is probably one of the biggest changes, as I did find it annoying when I was trying to farm level 7 regions and I would accidentally decrease it by taking on a different monster in a different region, or by simply discovering a monster in a different region. Anyway, the 4th adjustment, Expedition Objective has been added to fixed region play. So when you're selecting the guiding lands, there should be a Expedition Objective setting where you can select the fixed region parameter. This will let players know that you're exploring an area of the guiding lands that has been fixed. And finally, with the 5th adjustment to the guiding lands, locating monsters in the guiding land will no longer affect region levels. So like I said previously, sometimes if you would discover a monster in a different region, it can lower other regions whilst increasing the region of that said discovered monster. This now doesn't make any difference to the levels in the guiding lands. So as you can see, lots of great changes to the guiding lands there. It is a start. Whether this is going to be enough, we'll have to wait and see, but it definitely seems that it is more accessible, and it shows that Capcom are definitely listening to fan feedback. But anyway, let's move on to talk about the balance changes and bug fixes that came with this patch. First of all, they fixed an issue where daily skills would change when a voucher or gourmet voucher is used. This has now been adjusted. Next, they fixed an issue where the leaf boat observation requests riding on a leaf condition, where the request would not be considered complete in certain situations. They fixed an issue with the heavy bowgun's wyvern snipe, and the light bowgun's wyvern blast counter would be obstructed by Velkhana's ice wall when a player was on top of it. They also fixed an issue where the squad join request would be automatically approved in certain situations, even when the settings are set to manual. The next fix is to an issue where unnecessary effects would appear in certain areas of the guiding lands. Also, the overall movement routes for your raider rides have been tweaked, as they would be trapped in certain areas. They also fixed an issue where the Frostcraft's gauge, which is the 4-set bonus of the Velkhana set, would be consumed, but the effect would not trigger, and the additional hits from the Longsword Spirit Helm Breaker and the Hunting Horn's performance attacks. They also fixed the issue with the Longsword's Uragon mod, where Tempered Blast Gale was listed as an upgrade material instead of a Tempered Scute. They also adjusted the brightness of the screen when flash pods and flash flies were used. They also fixed an issue where if graphics settings were set to prioritize resolution, the effective range for taking pictures with the surveyor set, so the camera would become a lot smaller. They also fixed an issue where Glavenus would not get caught in players' traps. I've personally never actually come across that one, but I can imagine that being quite annoying. They also fixed an issue that would occur in certain languages at the update notice screen. They also fixed an issue where data would not finish loading properly and players would lose control of the game when viewing rankings of certain quests. They've made adjustments to the guiding lands to make it easier to play. We've already gone into detail about what this includes. They've also fixed an issue where if the Scoutfly level is at level 3 and the monster is near death, the icon will not display correctly on the map. And finally, for the listed ones, they fixed an issue where palicos would move to incorrect places. They didn't specify anything other than that. Apart from that, they stated that there have been other little tweaks and minor bug fixes, but they have not gone into detail about what was included. But nonetheless, as you can see, this is quite a hefty patch, with lots of new additions, changes and fixes. On top of that though, before we go, the PlayStation and Xbox stores have been updated. Obviously some of this new content is not free, unfortunately, but there has been a new sticker set added, a stuffed doll set for your room, as well as a cute decor set for your room, which is actually quite expensive in all honesty. It seems you can also buy additional music tracks for your music player in your room, but this again will cost you. And there is a free Great Jagras figurine for your room at the moment. However, future figurines are likely to cost you. But that's about it for patch 11.0. In all honesty, I'm quite happy with it, and the new addition of Rajang and the new Guiding Lands volcano region, as well as the Guiding Land changes in general, is welcome in my books. I'm surprised they've actually given us this update so soon after Monster Hunter World Iceborne's launch, in all honesty. But what are your thoughts, and how have your hunts gone against the Super Saiyan monkey? Leave a comment down below, and until next time, I've been Darcblade, bringing you an information video regarding patch 11.01 for Monster Hunter World Iceborne. Hope you enjoyed the video, thanks for watching, subscribe and like for more.